God's moving in Hollywood. It's not nearly as much in the closet as it used to be. It's a little bit more out front. More people are unafraid to talk about it. In the past, it's been very compartmentalized. God was okay if you did it on Sunday, like in most parts of the country. But in Hollywood today, it's becoming a part of everyday conversation. I meet people constantly who are asking me questions about spiritual things, about God stuff, about Christian stuff. And so it's much more obvious than it used to be.
When we came to Hollywood in 1991, there was no Hollywood Prayer Network, there was no Actors Co-op, there was no Beacon, none of the fellowships and things that there are available here today. And so prayer for me was just who I was to begin with. That's who, my source was. It was my lifeline to God, was my prayer. But there was no one else around. I think that's where Hollywood Prayer Network, when it came into existence, was so important. Because it allowed others to be able to be a part of something and know that there was somebody out there that could pray for them and that they could have a source to go to.
Prayer is the most inexplicable in Hollywood, largely because people who don't care about you being a Christian, they don't care about godly things, they don't care about spiritual issues, still love it that you pray for them. So in many ways, prayer is the key that opens the door for reaching somebody in this town. They like prayer. Raging pagans want you to pray for them. And so I find that's a fascinating thing. I can't fully explain it yet, but there's no question that prayer in many ways is the single most important key. I think it's a remarkable tool for getting the gospel into Hollywood. A lot of people ask the question, why do I need to pray for people in Hollywood? I mean, come on, either they're rich or they're famous or they're not believers, and people just don't understand what's happening here. And the truth is there are hundreds, probably thousands of really dedicated Christians inside this industry. And think of them as missionaries. They're trying to impact a very difficult and hostile culture. And so they need prayer more than anybody. There may be, certainly I pray for a missionary in a third world country, reaching people in a very difficult situation. But in many ways, that's no different from the atmosphere and the environment people are in here in Hollywood. So absolutely, I would encourage people to pray for people in the Hollywood network, professionals in the industry, people who are connected to this ministry, because it's absolutely doing a remarkable work.